Okay, I did a kind of tutorial on all this stuff and how it works, but I want to go into more depth briefly on the two symbols and when to use them. First, I'm going to talk about movie clips because they are the most common, and they probably help animation the most, like in the most ways possible. A movie clip allows you to do two things, and those are to take something that you've made, be it a single frame, or a bunch of frames like these, and turn them into something you can easily hold and work with quickly. Let me do the single frame example first. I'll put this on a new layer for simplicity. If I select this one drawing and then I hit F8, movie clip, we'll call this hourglass, then this is all yours, and you can put it wherever you want it, and it's a lot easier to work with than just drawing it frame by frame sometimes. Like if you want this to stay the same and you don't want to redraw an hourglass for every point in the animation, then you just make it a symbol and move it, or you just keep it as a shape and you move it, but it gets kind of annoying sometimes when you go to grab it and you accidentally grab the edge of it or whatever. This will just keep you from doing that, and it makes it easy to work with. So that's one time when you use it, and that's the first thing that a movie clip can do for you. The second thing is allow you to add effects or filters, and those are accessed in the filters window. So if you select a movie clip, and this only works with movie clips and text, don't even try and think about text right now, just focus on the movie clips. If you go to filters and then you hit this plus button, you'll see a bunch of options, like 10, and then there's these. But here you have probably the most commonly you're ever going to use are glow and blur. Just those two. That's what animation takes. And sometimes a drop shadow and adjusting color. I use it for like explosions. But glow and blur is what I'm going to discuss. You can add a blur in Flash right there. You can change the severity of the blur with these sliders. This is for blurring left and right, and that's up and down. If you don't want them to move the same number at the same time, you unlock them from one another, and then you can blur it a whole bunch on the X and nothing on the Y, or if something is moving really fast across the screen this way, or vice versa, where you want it to move up really fast and demonstrate that with a blur. Just like that. That's blurring. And then if you want to get rid of a filter, you just hit the minus while it is selected, and you can have as many filters as you want. You can pile blurs on top of blurs. You would hit the minus. Under most filters, you get a quality option. It's at low by default, and you can switch it to high if you want. And then that will crank up the amount of samples it uses. I don't really know the math behind it, but it makes your blurs look more powerful and just more nice in general. That's a low blur. I always put it on high if I can. But if you have a really big thing that's blurry, you would leave it on low to save speed on the export and the playback. So I'm going to delete this now. No, I'm not. I'm going to delete this, the blur. And then I'm going to hit the plus again and go to glow. So in glow, you can change the color of the glow. You can change the quality just like before. You can change the strength. It goes up to 1,000. And then you can change the blurriness of that glow. That's a glow for you. It adds a kind of like it adds an outline of a color that you select here, and then it blurs that outline. Sort of. It's, it's glow. Great for doing effects. Anyway, I want to talk about the other time when it's useful to use a movie clip over a graphic. So if you wanted this little dust puff to be duplicated so you could use it again and again, then you would use a graphic. But if you wanted it to be able to do that and also be blurry, you'd have to use a movie clip. So that's what I want to do. And the way I'll do it is select all these frames and right-click them, cut them, and then I always do it like this. I just make something random and then turn it into a movie clip, go in, delete this thing, and then paste the frames I just copied. Or you can go down here, hit new symbol, and then make a movie clip. Call it what you want. And then you're immediately inside of it once you make it. I talked about that in the library tutorial. You can then paste frames on the first frame, and you'll see your little dust thing. And there it is. And now you have it right here. And you'll only see the first frame of it because it is a movie clip. If it were a graphic, then you could see the whole thing play and then you could move it around, but you wouldn't be able to add filters to it. But here's what this dust would look like as a movie clip with a filter. I just scaled it up right there. Let's add a blur, make it high quality, a little strength, there. Some people like to add blurs on their dust. I don't really like it. But that's how you would do it. Just like that. Yep. And those are movie clips. Good for filters. And hand animating. But so are graphics. Yeah. I'm going to do a tutorial on these two. The color options and the blending options later. Movie clips.